Hello everybody, welcome to the Joy of Trucking, where we share our experience for your benefit. And also, if you're just an armchair traveler and you want to see the roads of America. What are you doing, Kevin? This is like a Japanese samurai movie or kung fu movie or something. Yeah, okay, so welcome. I think Kevin's just keen to get going with the video. He is going to talk to you today about the top 5 things he learned in his first month driving as a solo driver for Werner Enterprises. Take it away, Kevin.
Hi, this is Kevin. I'm a solo driver for Werner Enterprises, and after 1 month on the road, there's some things that I've learned, and I think it's important, and I think I want to share them with you. So we want to talk about backing the truck up, the DVIR, which is your daily vehicle inspection report, using the tablet, the little Samsung tablet they give you for all your information and communication and maps and all that stuff, and especially in the area of documenting your hours, understanding the clock. That 14-hour clock, your 11-hour clock, your 70-hour clock, and your 8-hour clock. And,
yeah, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that should be a whole separate video.
And actually, trip planning is another thing that I learned a lot about. So first of all, with backing.
Wait, was that 5? That seemed like 4.
Yeah, but the tablet covers 2.
2. Okay, 4.5.
With backing, setup is everything, and each time you do a backing maneuver, it's different. Each one is slightly different. So treat each one as a learning experience. Approach it as a challenge, and you know, try to do it the best you can and try to learn something from it every time. The first thing you got to do is assess the situation, assess the terrain, look at how much space you have between where you're going to back in and what's in front of it. Sometimes you've got trucks nose to nose and maybe only 50, 60 feet between them. It's a very narrow alley where you have to make your maneuver. And sometimes there's a whole lot of room. You can actually pull straight out and just do a straight back into your slot. Also look at the slot, see if there's any debris, any overhead obstructions, tree branches, telephone wires. See if there's a chunk of concrete or a 2x4 with a nail sticking up out of it. If there's a concrete barricade at the back that you may slam into and damage your truck, or another truck that you might slam into and damage someone else's truck. So look at that. Look at how much room you have. Look for potholes. Look for slopes, and look to see if you're on gravel or pavement or concrete, and if it's wet and slippery. We've pulled into some lots that are gravel, and as you approach and move forward, and the fan in the engine kicks in, suddenly there's a cloud of dust everywhere. You can't see.
Yeah,
properly.
Be sure you have your windows
closed. Open, because you're going to open your window when you're backing, so you can stick your head out, and then you'll get this big mouthful of dust. It'll be all over your truck. It'll be inside here. So look at the terrain. And potholes can throw you off more than you think. You're making a maneuver and suddenly the truck jumps, or the steering wheels get twisted a little bit. You might think you're getting stuck, and you got to hit the accelerator bit to get out of a pothole. There's a lot of different things. Look at the terrain, assess the situation, and try to judge how much room you have. Also, look to see if there's enough room for you to do a U-turn. Because a lot of times you'll come into a lot, and the easiest way to do a 45 is from the driver's side. So can you go up and make a U-turn so that you're doing your backing maneuver from the driver's side? Sometimes you can't. So assess whether you have enough room to do a U-turn, and try to stay on the pavement if you can. Sometimes it drops off at the end into dirt, and you don't know what that dirt's like. We had a buddy in Texas who went just off the pavement, and his tires sank right down. He couldn't get out. He had to get a tow truck to pull him out. And
wasn't that like his first delivery?
Yeah, and it's expensive. Yeah. And it counted against him as an accident according to the company. Yeah. So that's a safety infraction. So now the next thing is the DVIR, daily vehicle inspection report. Inspect your truck every day and several times a day. You might do 200 or 300 miles, and a piece of debris gets caught between your tires or in the drive shaft, or a light goes out. A light's going to go out. It's not going to happen just before you do your inspection. So you want to catch it as soon as possible, right? You don't want to be driving down the road, suddenly it's dark and your taillights aren't working or something like that, you know. So check this stuff out often, and then do your daily vehicle inspection report. Send it in every day. So if there is a problem, the company's aware of it right away, and they'll ask you if you need it fixed right away, if you want to make an appointment and get into a shop or something, and assess whether you can fix it the next time you're at a terminal or on your next downtime or whatever. But yeah, know what's going on with your truck.
Yeah, that happened to you a couple of times with the light for the trailer.
I picked up 3 trailers in a row in my first week, and the license plate light didn't work on all 3 trailers, so they had to be dealt with. And the other thing is that when you pull into a weigh station, you can get inspected at random. That happened to us one night. We pulled into a scale, and the guy in there said, just go park over there, we're going to do an inspection. We had a level 1 or level 2 inspection. Fella came over and went over the truck real quick. So if I didn't, if I had a bulb burned out somewhere, that would have been a mark against me.
Yeah.
If a tire didn't have enough tread on it, they would have found it. You know?
So and that was lucky though. Everything was good on your truck and trailer that day.
Yeah,
so
passed that inspection with flying colors.
Yes.
Also, when you're doing drop and hook, you're going to get a different trailer
every time.
And you don't know what that trailer's been through and what the last guy had to deal with, or if he dropped it off and didn't do an inspection for 2 or 3 days. So as soon as you hook up that trailer, get back there and check it out. Check those tires, check the brakes, check the lights, make sure the door seal's good. You don't want to find out, you pick up a trailer and head down the road, 2 miles later you're in a weigh station and they look at the trailer and say, oh man, you got like all these things wrong with it. You got to know this, and you got to know that you're safe, that you're pulling a trailer that's actually safe.
And then also have integrity and deal with it. Don't just drop it off at the shipper or receiver or at the terminal and don't say anything and pass the buck to the next driver. When you find something, please deal with it. Don't pass it along. Right?
Yeah.
It's got to be dealt with.
So, using the tablet.
Number 3.
It's right there beside you all day.
Yeah. Running your life.
Used to
Worse
forget,
than your wife.
It is. It's got to be at the back of your mind all the time. I kept forgetting about it, so I'd stop for fuel and it would still be on driving. It automatically switches to on duty after about 5 minutes, but you're losing driving time on your clock. Driving's where you make your money. You're getting paid by the mile, so you want that driving time to last as long as possible every day. So don't forget to switch it to fueling or off duty or sleeper or whatever you got to do.
And one we learned was the yard move. That was one we didn't know right away. We learned about
the yard move. So when you get to a shipper or a consignee and you get past the gate, you don't want to be in driving mode, right? You're using up time there that you could be doing 60 miles an hour down a highway making good money, and instead you're creeping around some warehouse yard at 5 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour, and you go to yard move, and it doesn't count against your driving clock.
Yeah. I think we should do a separate video explaining
there's
all
a
of that.
There's a lot.
That's a lot.
There's
of
a lot.
detail.
You got your 70-hour clock. You can stop that by going off duty.
Yeah.
If you go off duty and it goes to 2 hours, it splits the clock, and so now you can drive later, but it's also making a very long day. So there's a lot to talk about there.
We'll do a separate video on that.
Yeah.
We're sticking to the top 5 things you learned.
Now the other thing with the tablet is it's your communication device. You got your phone. You can call your fleet manager and talk to them. If you're waiting for a load, but you can also send messages on this thing, and you can say available for load, like you're waiting for a load. And a couple of times we were sitting in a place for a few hours and didn't get a load. Keep sending that message and grab the phone and call them and say, I'm waiting for a load, I'm available, and remind them, because I think sometimes they forget you're there, or just they're stacked up with a whole lot of stuff and they're dealing with a lot of other things and other people or whatever, but keep bugging them.
And a trick we learned from another trucker we were speaking with,
before you finish the load that you're delivering, already ask for your next load. If you wait until you dropped off and got all your paperwork done, and then you say, okay, now I'm ready, and they're like, oh, well, okay, you're early and we weren't ready, and so you might lose another hour or two before they find you your next load. But get them on the ball before you drop off the load you have.
Like 2 stops before, and then again the stop before. You know, start bugging them several hours
an hour
before.
or two before you drop off your load. Like let them know, like, do I have a pre-assigned load yet? And they will get working on it.
Yeah.
Lots of other things about the tablet and
we'll
the
do a
clock
separate
and all that
tablet
stuff. Trip planning is another thing.
Is that number 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4.
It's actually number 5. But
number
anyway,
5. Trip planning.
Trip planning is a big thing. When you get a load, you get an assignment, you're going to look at the route, you know, you're going to punch in the address, you're going to see which roads you're going to take, you're going to check the weather and say, maybe going over the mountains is not a good idea today and I want to go around the mountain. Maybe there's going to be thunderstorms and hail going in this direction, maybe I want to go this way. But another important thing to do is look at your destination, whether it's the shipper or the consignee. Go on Google Maps and go to the satellite view, and you can see the actual building and the parking lot and the entrances. Look for the guard shack where you're going to go in and give them your paperwork and all that stuff. You don't want to come to a big warehouse facility and pull into the employee parking lot with a 53-foot trailer and start hitting cars and stuff. You want to make sure you get the truck entrance, and when you're at the guard shack, maybe you can't see the whole place. A lot of times you go right around the building and there's a big old parking lot over there. So you'll already have that picture in your head looking at the satellite view. You can also go to the street view, that little yellow man on Google Maps, and he's standing there on the street looking at the place as though you were standing there looking at the place. So you'll see the entrance, the signs, what the neighborhood looks like. Yeah. It's a good trick. It's a good tool to have.
Really
satellite
helpful.
View has helped us out.
Yeah, because a lot of them have numerous entrances and exits, and it's definitely good to try and figure out where the guard shack is when you're looking at it.
Some of them are one way. You want to know which way you're supposed to go in. Don't go in the other way. Right. You know.
Or don't get stuck on a country road like we did once, listening to the electronic log sent us to the place, but we somehow ended up on the back of it where you couldn't actually get in, and we were on a little country road and it was not safe.
Behind the facility.
Yeah, very awkward.
We had to drive 6 miles around the country to get back to the front entrance.
So
it was awful. Check
those satellite pictures carefully. Don't just listen to your electronic device.
And look for your spot to overnight when you can plan your whole day and plan for that spot where you're going to wind up at the end of the day. But again, look at the satellite pictures, see how big the lot is, how you would get in, how you're going to maneuver into a spot, how you get out again, and have an alternate, because you're not always going to get to that place, or maybe you'll get to it and it'll be full. Best app we have is Trucker Path.
We still have the free version at this point.
Yeah, we don't have the paid version, but even the free version tells you, if the lot's full. It'll tell you the exit to take off the highway, which is really handy.
Tells you how many spots they have.
Tell you how many they have, and it'll tell you how far it is. So if you know it's 180 miles to that special place that you want to stay tonight, and you've only got 2 hours, it's going to take 3, and you ain't going there.
Yeah.
So you can check that while en route too. Every time you stop, you can look ahead and see what's happening at that place, and have a backup. Say, if I don't get to that one, there's one 20 miles before, there's one 30 miles after, and that's what I'll shoot for if this one doesn't work out. So
like we ended up last night, we were going to stay at a Love's, and by the time we got there, that place was jam-packed.
It was so full, it took half an hour to get back out on the road.
Yes. Should we mention who was parked in the exit?
Oh, no.
Another Werner truck.
Another tip, carry supplies. That's
this is tip number 5.
Carry supplies. We carry a 3-gallon jug of water and 2 or 3 1-gallons, so we always have water to drink, and if you need to wash something or whatever, we've got wet wipes, we've got paper towels. Carry some food because you may get stuck someplace. We spent a night in a dirt parking lot in Charlotte, North Carolina. There was nothing. There was an outhouse, but I don't think it even had toilet paper.
No, it didn't.
There was nothing else. There was nothing to drink, nothing to eat, nothing to do. It was pretty nasty.
And
we're self-contained. We can do. We've got food here. We got water here. We got stuff to clean. We got soap. We got clothing.
Everything. We've got each other.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention we were making a drop off, and there was driver from another company, and he had broken down right there at the distribution center.
Oh boy.
And it was a holiday or a Sunday or something, so he had been making phone calls trying to get somebody to come and help him, and it was hours. And the poor guy, he didn't have water, he didn't have food.
Nothing.
We gave him a gallon of water and some granola bars, and he was so grateful because he had nothing on board. So
he blew a major coolant hose.
Yeah, so you need to have.
He didn't even have spare coolant. Carry supplies, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Windshield washer fluid, coolant, oil, def.
So be sure you have enough food and water for, unexpected layovers and delays. And, we were in a traffic jam one time that took 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah.
And so be sure you have what you need. Don't rely on getting somewhere in a vending machine, which we don't, we think you should be eating healthy anyway. But have something on board, especially water. It's so easy to get dehydrated quickly, and then you're not making good decisions anymore. So, okay, recap. This was now
again
4.5, 5, 6. What are we at? What are your topics?
All right, backing, very important. Set up and assess. The vehicle inspection is very important.
Yeah, daily, and plus more than once daily.
More than once a day.
Yeah.
The tablet, as far as changing your situation, whether you're in sleeper, on duty, driving, whatever, like keep on it. Don't forget it. And with the tablet, also communication. Let them know you're available for a load. Let them know you're broken down. Let them know you're back on duty, ready to go. Whatever. Communication through the tablet, very important. Trip planning using Google Maps with the satellite view. Super important. It helps a lot, not just to plan your route, but to look at where you're going and how to get in and out of there. And carry supplies. Oh, did we hit top 6? Top 6 things you learned driving for Werner Enterprises as a solo driver your first month. Okay, fabulous. Kevin, thanks for sharing that with us. Really appreciate it. Anytime. And
hope that helped you guys out there. If you liked the video, remember, give it a thumbs up. You can put your comments and questions below. We love hearing from you. Please subscribe to our channel if you want more like this. And you can also hit that bell so that you get notified when we put out new videos. All right. Thanks so much for joining us today. Kevin, thanks for sharing your experience with us.
Bye-bye.
With love from Kevin and Tanya. Bye.